again to Hardesty's Meat and Deli, where the food is great.
And the people are even better.
They're even better, and I'm with one of the best here. Dax, congratulations on being chosen the Citizen of the Year by one of our local clubs, man.
Yeah, that was really cool, really humbling, and always a lot of people involved. But when something like that happens, man, you definitely very appreciative of it.
Well, you mentioned to me your appreciation, and I want you to know that it is well deserved. It's taken notice how you have put on the shoulders Shawnee Athletics and you're creating a brand that people want to choose. Yeah. Thank you, Dax Leone.
Well, I appreciate it. Really, the opportunity to be here is just, very humbling from when I got hired to where we're at now. Ton of people involved, great support all the way from Dr. Espald all the way down, and of course our kids and our coaches. So just like anything in sports, it's all a team effort. I probably get too much credit sometimes, and that's just, part of being in this position. Probably get too much blame when things go sideways. But honestly, this is a great opportunity. We're all a team and pulling in the right direction.
Well, Dax Leone is one of ours. He's a product of the Shawnee school system, and you are passionate about what you believe in. And we're going to come right back with a couple of individuals we want to introduce to you who are very special in our world. And you are watching the Dax Leone Coaches Show from Hardesty's Meat and Deli, where the food is great and the people are even better. Harrison Discount Pharmacy is concerned about our overall well-being. The Labyrinth on St. Gregory's Abbey grounds. If you're stressed, a walk in the Labyrinth may help you feel better. Harrison Discount Pharmacy, a good neighbor pharmacy. At McCune and Owens Funeral Group, your loved one never leaves our care. From your first phone call at the time of loss through final resting, we are with you. Stop by McCune and Owens for a visit today. We're back at Hardesty's Meat and Deli, Market and Deli. Hey Dax, is it Market and Deli, Meat and Deli?
It's just Hardesty's, the best place in town, is what I know.
Hey, where the food is great and the people are even better. And we've got, again, some great people with us. We have Kendal Gillham and Macie Blossom. Dax, this year, the wrestling team implemented Adopt a Wrestler, and Shawnee CTV adopted the two best right here with Kendal and Macie. Kendal, man, how many years have you been wrestling, and what do you like most about wrestling?
This will be my third year wrestling. I think I really enjoy the community and people in wrestling, really.
Hey, Macie, what about you? How long have you been wrestling? And is it weird being a girl out on a wrestling mat, when we're used to watching boys only wrestle?
This is my second year, and some part of it is, last year I actually wrestled boys and girls, but this year, since we have our first girls team, I only wrestle girls, but sometimes it is weird.
In our community, and Dax, I want you to speak to this, it's important for us to back the kids that are on these teams that are all performing so well for us. Talk a little bit about the importance of community involvement. He's got a mic.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, it all starts with our kids, because without them, none of us would be here. So I think it's just unbelievable. The tradition of our wrestling program goes all the way back to Coach Henry and all those guys, but to see what Coach McCune has turned it into today, and with our girls now just going out and just really dominating people from the start, it's just so exciting to see. I've had so many people stop me around town talking about our girls wrestling program, obviously our boys as well, but I think it's a credit to Coach McCune and the whole wrestling community, and that goes all the way back, like I said, to Coach Henry, Coach James, Coach Chamblin, and what Coach McCune and his staff got going on right now.
It is so important that we become involved with the kids. Macie, what do you love about wrestling?
I love the competition and my coaches.
And your coaches?
My coaches.
Coaches
have done a lot for us and everyone around us.
So how do your coaches at Shawnee High School Wrestling help you, Macie Blossom?
They give us a lot of opportunities, and if there's any bumps in the road, they try to smooth them out for us. But they're very hard on us, and then easy when they need to be.
Hey, Kendal, you're a multi-sport athlete. How important do you feel it is for athletes in school to be multi-sport athletes, and why?
I think being a multi-sport athlete has ups and downs. Obviously, no breaks, always nonstop. I think it also helps with, if you have a main sport, I think other sports can help you with your main sport. Wrestling definitely will help me with football, and football helps with wrestling and all that. And I think it's important to do multiple sports, personally. But.
And so, Kendal, what are your goals for your sports career? Let's just say for your wrestling career, what kind of goal have you set?
Well, mainly my goal is to just not let my coaches and teammates down, most of all. If nothing else, that's my core values, not let those people down.
So, not let your team down. That's a beautiful thing. And Macie, when we talk about you with wrestling, first of all, are there any other sports that you play?
Yeah, I'm in 3 sports.
Wow, tell me about the other sports as well.
I played softball in the beginning of the year, which it was fun. But softball is kind of just a filler sport. It's for fun. Wrestling's my main sport. I try definitely harder in wrestling, and then I do track as another filler sport.
Very good, but I want to tell you, Macie, we want you trying as hard as you can in every sport that you participate in. Let me ask you about goals for your wrestling career and for your team. Have you ever thought about that? Macie's just a freshman. We look forward to following her all 4 years. Do you have any goals set for your career in your athletics in high school?
Yes, I definitely have a goal. I definitely want to be a champion one of my 4 years of high school. And I definitely want to go to Fargo. But my main goal is to get a scholarship for wrestling and go wrestle for college.
That's fantastic. And when she says Fargo, I'm guessing that's the national tournament. Dax, again, a great example of the type of kids that you get to work with every day.
Yeah, I say it all the time. I get to see them every day, and they're just, it's a special group, and wrestling has its own, its own breed, and they're just, it's a great kid. It's a tough kid. They understand teamwork. I think you heard Kendal's answer. Not one to let his teammate and coaches down. Obviously, what Macie's saying about wanting to be a champion one of her 4 years, which they're both on the right track. So yeah, it's great to see. And wrestling seasons is so much fun. Like I said, our history goes all the way back to, to those previous coaches. And again, what Coach McCune and his community of wrestling are doing, it's just phenomenal, especially with all the devastation with not having the Stucker and what we've done at the Union Street and all the hard work that they've done. So it's just accumulation of things, but good things happen to good people and great programs. I think wrestling is at the top of the list.
Well, and as community businesses, we can adopt the wrestlers. There's a few that still need adoption. So reach out. You can message us or you can call Dax and we can get you in touch so that you too can adopt a Shawnee High School athlete and we all can help all of us become champions as a community. And when we come back, we get to talk a little bit more about the Union Street project as we welcome Coach Andrew McCune, wrestling coach. They have done a phenomenal job at the old middle school, the old original high school downtown on Union Street. I can't wait to talk to Andrew about those things.
I'm so excited to be back at Elle's Jewelry. I was just here the other day. Have you been here?
Yeah, I was actually engagement ring shopping with my friend.
Oh, perfect. Check this out, Tatum. This is Frank Rubel design. This is one of my favorite things at Elle's Jewelry.
Wow, that's stunning.
I know. He is such an interesting designer. So look at these cool designs he has. They're so amazing and unique and eccentric.
Let me show you my favorite. Isn't this blue so pretty?
Yes, it is so pretty.
Almost matches my eyes.
Yes.
Yeah. There's some other little jewelry over here that I want you to check out. I love it so much.
I'm excited.
Look at all these cute little dainty jewelries.
Oh yeah, dainty jewelry is so in right now.
That would actually go great with my Kinder Scott ring.
Yes, and it's so stackable. And this is the perfect place because they have so much Kinder Scott jewelry.
Wow.
I know.
Look at all of these stunning pieces.
I know. I love all of the new designs they have. So I found this beautiful stackable jewelry.
Wow, that's
yes,
great.
it is. It's so gorgeous. This is definitely going on my Christmas list. I have to tell my dad to get it.
I actually just got my Kinder Scott ring cleaned here.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
See, Elle's Jewelers, this is your one-stop shop for anything jewelry related. And whenever you shop local, you're supporting the county, which is supporting
your children's parks, the sheriff's office, the county roads that you drive on every single day.
Yes, and your public school system. So remember, this season, think big.
Shop small.
Back at Hardesty's Meat and Deli, where the people are pretty awesome.
Big time people. Got Grady back there. They're working hard. Working hard for us.
Scotty's not bad himself.
So where's Scott at today?
I don't know. But we got Andrew McCune, Coach Andrew McCune, head coach of the Shawnee Wrestling system. And first of all, hey, I understand that Newcastle was the first. Was it the first full duel for the girls team, or tell me what that was the first for?
Newcastle was the first full duel that the girls team's ever had in program history. So that was a big moment for us as we continue to build and push forward.
But last year the girls were successful, and they had some go to the state tournament, right?
Yeah, we've been training these girls for a while, but the biggest difference is collecting the team and keeping them. It's one of those things. Our girls are tough because for the last couple of years they've been wrestling boys. I mean, there's no difference there. It's been co-ed, and that's why they became a lot tougher.
Well, that's an interesting thing, because becoming a lot tougher. A lot of people in our community that hit us on April 19th, but nobody got hit any worse than what Shawnee Wrestling did. And it's been phenomenal, Dax, what's transpired over on Union Street. Set us up a little bit, because I know this young man is responsible for much of that improvement.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the transformation from down there to what it is just unbelievable. And we all grew up down there in the old dungeon and those things. But when Coach McCune, Dr. Espel, all of us sat down, Julia talked about what we were going to do with the wrestling program. Coach McCune was very passionate about getting old Union Street Gym wrestling room up and going. And so I'll let him talk about it, because he did all the work. Honestly, him and his wrestling community were 98% of the time down there doing the work. So I'll let him kind of talk about it and just how special is it, Coach, and kind of what transpired to get us to where we are today.
Union Streets pretty much gave us our start in wrestling. Way back in the day, the Stuckers kind of started the program over at the YMCA, and then when it transpired over there, to me, it's rich in tradition at Union Street. There's no place I would rather be, especially in this program, because it means a lot to us. The Stucker meant a lot to us, and when that tornado directly hit the Stucker and took that away from us, this is the closest thing that we have to a home, and it means a lot.
So they went in and they basically re-gutted the practice facility, and the gym is worth the visit for itself. But when you come in, you get entertained by a great wrestling squad. You guys, your entire coaching staff is born and bred, it seems, Shawnee High School wrestling. Talk about how important it is that you guys are building deep roots from generation to generation in Shawnee wrestling.
Well, I can tell you there's been a lot of sacrifice, not just on personal levels with my coaches and my staff, but with their own families. That's how much this program means to us. We put forth a lot, all the way down to our wives, to the alumni that support us. We're so rich in tradition because this is a sport that can give an opportunity for anybody to be special. One was given to me, and wrestling's for everybody. It ain't just for the athletes. You're not an athlete, we'll make an athlete out of you. You want an opportunity to be special, that's why this sport's special.
Well, Dax, you were a multi-sport athlete, and you and I were laughing over at the Newcastle meet at how impressive the athletes in wrestling are. Just, it's a different animal as far as sports go.
Yeah, I think we were saying, I said, you got to be tough to wrestle. I can tell you that. I don't know a ton about it. I had a lot of family that grew up wrestling. They always made fun of me for playing basketball. And I think I see why now, just being around the program and seeing all the dedication and work, and even, to the diet, which we brought some bananas and oranges in today, because the kids are, they have to hit their weight, but they work so hard. And I had the great opportunity. Amber and I last year basically followed them from Pryor all the way to the state tournament and got to basically kind of be on the road with the wrestling team for a couple of weeks. And it was just such a unique experience and just such an eye-opening experience for somebody like myself that just is kind of knows wrestling and been around it, but is not an expert by no means. But what I saw these kids and what these parents and everybody, just this, like Coach said, sacrifice is a good word, because there's a ton that goes into it. But when you see them on the mat and it's one-on-one, there's no excuses. And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but you always fight. And I think Coach is And McCune and his staff have done a great job of instilling that. And I'm proud of all of our sports, but what wrestling has been through the last, few months to see where they're at today and having those wrestling matches down to Union Street, it kind of gives me chills, honestly.
Yeah, so Coach McCune, tell us a little bit, share with the audience, share to this camera right here, the meaning and the heart behind Shawnee High School wrestling for our kids.
Man, just a lot of rich tradition.
I want to know about the day-to-day work that goes in, that these kids put in, because we do not understand how hard wrestling actually is unless you're in that room or unless you spend time with a wrestler.
Yeah. Well, kind of running on fumes right now, but is it worth it? It's worth it. Wrestling's not for the faint of heart. It's a combat sport. It's the only combat sport in public schools. Very aggressive practice room. They get in some scraps. They shake hands and they continue on after that. To the diet, to the work ethic. You're not hiding from work ethic in this sport. What makes better athletes is this sport because it is combative. That practice room's hard. Nobody off the streets can walk in a wrestling room practice without building up to it. There's nobody. It's just such a brutal practice. But it's all for the benefit. I'd rather them put everything they got in the practice room, that way they can transition that to the competition. So you could be a different wrestler in practice, but you got to be able to transition that to the competition. But as far as athletes overall, like multi-sport athlete, I'm a big believer in that. Sit down with Coach Madonna, send me your football players, send me whoever, and I will make them better athletes, because one thing that wrestling does is it helps them with hips, leverage, and it's a mentality, because when you're out there on that mat, you're not hiding from anybody either. Just like you can't hide your work ethic, you're not hiding. And the adrenaline and the mentality is so much different. But that's why they can be overall better athletes, because there's some things that you cannot teach as a coach. They just have to experience.
Well, I bet there's mottos going on around the wrestling coaches room a lot. Shoot me a motto that you have for Shawnee High School wrestling.
Well, I got a bunch, especially if they're laying on their backs. A lot of my lingo comes from the Marine Corps, so I can tell you one of the biggest ones that I use is brilliance in the basics. You don't need to be fancy. You don't need the fancy moves. Brilliance in the basics. The basic fundamentals will get you to those state championship matches. Perfecting those, there's so many different variations, but you have to have the fundamentals. Another one I use: slow, smooth is fast. Don't sacrifice technique for speed in the beginning, because I got a lot of young ones and new ones. Get that technique, and then that speed will come. So those are my two biggest things right there.
Well, joining us here at Hardesty, we've got 4 wrestlers. I'm going to be able to step away. Maybe each of us will be able to interview each one of these guys and girls, actually, and talk to the students of Shawnee High School who are actually going through some of these combative practices. And then we'll come back together, guys, and we'll be able to talk and close out. You're watching the Dax Leone Shawnee High School Coaches Show here at Hardesty's Deli, where the food is great and the people
are even better.
For over 50 years, Fred's Tire and Battery has served Central Oklahoma with tires, batteries, and service for cars, trucks, and tractors. Friendly and affordable, with 2 locations in Shawnee. Fred's Tire and Battery, a name you can trust.
For 25 years, Eric's has served you and your family for all your prescription needs. Eric and his staff love the community and love seeing you in the store conveniently located on North Kickapoo. Make your day brighter by visiting Eric's today. Back at Hardesty's, and I've got one of the senior leaders for the wrestling squad and also another multiple sport successful athlete, Jayson Hare. Hey, Jayson, what's the biggest obstacle you have to overcome when you have such a active football season and now you transition into wrestling?
It's just a lot of hard work, you have to get in shape for wrestling and then get all the technique down again, but that's probably the hardest one, just getting in shape.
Well, I hear over and over and over, there is being in shape and then there's wrestling shape. So tell me a little bit of difference between what happens to your body from football to wrestling.
It's just I don't know. It's hard to explain. You know, it's just completely different in football. You know, you get breaks every so often during the downs, but in wrestling, it's just go, 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 go. It's like a sprint, you know, and that's what makes it so hard.
When you consider now your senior year in wrestling, I want two things. Number one, so far in your wrestling career, what do you think is your greatest achievement? Then number two, what have you not achieved yet that is your goal for this season?
I think so far my greatest achievement, probably my toughness, you know, because in all my matches, my goal is to go out there and give it everything I can, no matter who it is, you know. And then my future goal, state champ. State champ, that's all it is.
So in order for Jayson Hare to be crowned state champion this year, what must transpire? What do you have control over that you know you must improve?
So when I lose or anything like that, it's how I respond to it, you know. If I'm just, you know, weeping about it or something, I don't want to do anything to fix it, then I'm not going to win, you know. So when I lose, I'm going to work even harder, learn even more, and come back from it.
Well, I had the privilege all football season to watch this young man fly around the football season at the linebacker position. You definitely are a leader by example, and since state championship is the goal, we're going to hold you to it. Let's go get a state championship. How about that?
That sounds good. Let's do it.
All right. Jayson Hare right here at Hardesty's Meat and Deli, where the food is great and the people are
even better.
Action Physical Therapy supports Shawnee High School athletics. Located on Harrison. If you need physical therapy, ask for Action.
Sonic Drive-In originated in Shawnee, serving great food fast to your family. Drive up, order, and eat in your car. Now, more than 3,500 stores worldwide, it's Sonic Good at our local Sonics.
All right, we're back here at Hardesty Deli. I'm with Claudia Thomason, one of our girl wrestlers. Claudia, thank you so much for being on the show.
Hi.
So, hey, wrestling, tell us a little bit about the season, how it's been going, and how you and your teammates have been doing.
I think that the girls have really had a kickoff to our girls team, because we've been doing pretty good. We won our first duel. We didn't win our second, but we also had some tough matches, and I've been told that a lot of those girls did go to Fargo, and our girls aren't there yet, but we will be eventually if we just keep working at it. And yeah.
What about the big tournament win we had at Henrietta? That was pretty exciting.
Yeah, that was definitely, it was really good. A lot of people got first, not even just high school, junior high too.
Yep.
But we took first overall as a team, and just keep making history.
Yeah, that's really exciting. So let's talk a little bit about the tornado. You guys have been hit harder than any other sport, being displaced from the Stucker. So why don't you just talk a little bit about that experience, and maybe going over to Union, and kind of what's that been like for you guys and you and your teammates?
It's definitely a lot different, because I didn't wrestle when they used to wrestle in the Union Street Gym, because I just had no desire to, and now here I am. But the tornado has definitely done a lot for us. I mean, it's given us opportunities as well as taken some things away from us.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a lot more stressful, because we didn't really know what we were going to do, but we're working through those. And
Yeah, well, it's really cool to see the wrestling community come together. So just talk a little bit about the wrestling community and what that means to you. Because I see your parents at everything. Your mom and dad are at everything, and your brother wrestles. So just talk about the wrestling community.
The wrestling community, it's really great. A lot of parents volunteer, and it's just like everybody's there for each other. And so, you can always count on people. We always have people volunteering for duels with concessions or running mat tables. It doesn't really matter what it is, but one of the reasons why I like wrestling is because of the community. It's just really great to see everybody just come together and help each other.
Yeah, I think that's very well said. Well, we're really proud of Claudia and what she's been able to accomplish so far, and we're looking forward to the rest of the wrestling season. So we'll be right back.
Tatum, I'm so excited to be at Played Against Sports.
Me too.
Did you play sports growing up?
A lot.
Woo! Can't wait to hear about it. Tatum, look at all of the fun stuff they have.
Oh my gosh.
Was softball one of the sports you played?
Oh, I played many sports, and softball was one of them. Let's see if I still got it.
Yeah. Out of the park. Out of the park. I love that.
Me too. What sports did you play?
Well, I actually played volleyball growing up, and it's so fun because this store, Played Against Sports, actually represents 26 different sports. So I came here and got some stuff sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at these awesome baseball hats. My dad would absolutely love these.
Okay, but I absolutely love it on you. That's for you.
It kind of goes with both of our outfits.
It does. I love this.
And it's perfect Christmas colors.
Yes, amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Does your dad like golf?
He does. Now, is he good at golf? Is a different question.
No, I don't think my dad's that good at golf either.
I know. Well, remember, you guys, whenever you're shopping local this holiday season, do not forget about Played Against Sports right here in Shawnee. In your sales tax, when you purchase local, it helps the city and the county sales tax. So that's our public school systems, our roads, and what else, Tatum?
Sheriff's Department.
Yes!
It also helps the elderly have better fire protection.
Yes, it does so many things that benefits right where you live whenever you shop local this holiday season.
Now that's a catch.
Yeah.
All right, we're back here at Hardesty, and I got Kade Carter with me. We're really excited to have him. So, Kade, welcome to Hardesty's. Are you nervous at all?
A little bit.
You wrestle in front of all these people, not get nervous, but you're nervous in front of me and Jared right now?
In front of the camera.
Well, why don't you talk a little bit? I talked to Claudia a little bit. Why don't you talk a little bit about the tornado and the impact that it had on the wrestling program?
Oh yeah, the tornado took like our whole facility, as everyone knows, and all the stuff, all of our funds and wrestling mats and everything just got took away. So it's like we're like rebuilding from the bottom. So we had to go to the old middle school on Union, and it's just, I don't know.
Been a little bit different?
Yeah, it's been a lot different.
Does it make you appreciate the Stucker now that we're not over there every day?
Oh yeah, for sure. It was real nice.
Yeah.
Going to the old middle school, roaches running around.
Well, I know the wrestling community. I know you guys were all involved in cleaning that up. So just talk about all the people and all the weekends you guys spent down there.
We spent countless hours going down there and volunteering to help like get it cleaned up so we can get everyone back in there. Because not just us, like basketball goes in there now and other sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Y goes there, like to play. So we cleaned it up, got it going.
So it's kind of a community place now, right? Yeah, and that's how it used to be when we were all growing up. But hey, I followed you guys last year up in Pryor and went to the state tournament, and you got a really bright future. And what's your expectations this year? Because I see you as a state qualifier and a chance to win it. So what's your goals this year?
My goals this year, of course, everyone to win state, and I feel like I could take it if I stayed this weight. I'm at 138 right now.
Right.
And I just gotta maintain it, keep it on, build muscle on it. And I feel like I could take state.
Yeah, and our team, we've had a little bit of fluctuation with some of our weights and stuff. We had a few forfeits going, but once we get our team together, what do you feel like for the boys team? Where do you see us in the long run going towards a team state championship?
We got to get our 215 in line. We don't have a 215 right now.
Okay.
Get that, and more likely to win more duels, but I feel like it could happen.
Yeah, we got to just get our weights.
If everyone stays on their weight.
Right.
Does their jobs.
Yeah, well, I know it's a lot of work trying to stay at that weight and what you guys got to do, but just talk a little bit about the sacrifice that it takes to be a Shawnee wrestler.
It takes a lot, man. Like Chris's connections, like everyone's having parties in class, eating whatever they want. You got to stay disciplined, eat what you got to eat, stay on weight, eat healthy stuff, right stuff in your body to keep fuel and all that.
Yeah.
So if you don't do that, then you really just go downhill.
I watch you guys. I'm not envy of you, man. I'm not envy of you. So last question for me. Talk a little bit about the girls program and how cool is that to see the growth of that program? So I know you're a big team guy. You're a big Shawnee Wolf first. So talk about the girls program.
Oh yeah. So our girls program this year, we have enough for a team, of course. And that's like the first to ever happen. And I think they're ranked right now. And they just took this last tournament. They got first at it,
Yep.
and they won their first ever duel, off to like a strong start. I don't know. I think
It's pretty cool to see, isn't
it's
it?
cool to see how it's coming along so fast.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I was out there watching them, and I tell you, some of them, they might be some tougher than some of you guys when it comes down to it, man. They have a great technique, and they're really tough, and Coach McCune's done a great job. Why don't you talk just a little bit about Coach McCune and his coaching staff, what they've done for you?
Coach McCune's done a lot on and off the mat for me. Like, I don't know, it's just like having someone to talk to, anything you need to help you up, to give the shirt off his back, really. He's just a great coach.
Yeah, it's pretty special. So we're really glad that Kate's here with us at Hardesty, even though he couldn't eat all the good food that we were all eating. But we're glad to have you, man, and we'll be back here with Daniel here in a little bit.
Clinic Pharmacy across from the hospital has something for you. Boutique items in Shawnee. All your pharmaceutical needs taken care of at the Clinic Pharmacy. Do you want an easy car buying experience? Castor Keys on Harrison. No hidden fees, no price gimmicks. Castor Key Auto Mart for a fair and convenient car buying experience. We are back at Hardesty's, and it's never easy to do this. Introduce yourself to all of us.
Hi, my name is Jessica Fullbright. I'm a junior.
Jessica has been wrestling now on the high school team for 2 years. Hey, Jessica, did high school wrestling introduce you to the sport of wrestling?
No, actually, I grew up with my cousin. He was a wrestler. He went to Shawnee too.
And so did he practice on you?
Yeah, he whooped me a few times.
But now I understand, Jessica, you pretty much whoop up on the competition. Earlier, we heard this term Fargo. Tell us exactly what Fargo is, because Jessica participated last year in Fargo.
Fargo is basically just this huge tournament. It's nationals. You have people come from all around to wrestle. It's really competitive, but it's a great experience.
And last year, your year was made up of a lot of great experiences, I know, but also talk about your success as a high school wrestler as you transformed Shawnee High School's girls wrestling program.
I mean, coming over to Shawnee from Thomason is a huge cultural change. I mean, I never thought I would get to where I am now, but it's definitely more of a team that you feel, and watching our girls grow as they do. We have a lot of first years, but they're getting it done in room for sure.
And how did you feel about your performance last year?
I was pretty proud of myself for it being my first year, but I watch it now and I see the technique that I could have learned and the discipline that I could have had.
And so this year now, as we enter into a new era where girls and boys wrestling on par with each other, how will this year be different for you as a wrestler as compared to last year?
I definitely have a better coach. The discipline is great. The guys that we have on our team also see the girls pushing as hard as they can. They help us out because this wasn't always a female-dominated sport. The guys are doing great too. They're definitely trying, but it's amazing to see how far our girls have come.
All right, I'm a big goal person. I'm going to ask you, Jessica, please let me know for your immediate goal, what you're working on immediately to get better as a wrestler, and for your long-term goal, tell me, what does that look like for Jessica Fullbright?
I definitely just need to get way more dominant on the mat. I'm pretty good at defense, but I need to get a lot better at offense, and that's just going to come with work.
And what about long term? How would you like your wrestling career to end up at Shawnee High School?
I would definitely love to be signed to a college. I'd love to get a state title. This is only my junior year. It is coming to an end though, and hopefully make it farther in Fargo this year.
Well, I believe in Jessica and in all of those wrestlers because I see the work that they put in, and it's always entertaining to get out and support these kids down at Union Street. What about the difference between what happened on April 19th? How did the tornado affect you as a wrestler of Shawnee High School wrestling system?
So it affected our team, and I see that now, but I was still a member of Tecumseh High School, but watching our team come together as one, as they turn Union into our home, it's amazing to see how it doesn't matter where they are. As long as they're together, they're always a family.
And that's the atmosphere that we want for everybody in the community. Get out and support Jessica Fullbright and the entire wrestling squad whenever you can, because there's no entertainment value better than high school sports. Amen, brother.
Amen.
Shawnee is the best place to shop local, and as a young adult approaching the holiday season, I don't know where to get a ham or how to prepare a ham, but I do know who to talk to, and that is Grady at Hardesty's Market in Delhi, and I am so excited.
Hi.
Okay, Grady, I know nothing about hams.
Okay,
You have to
well,
teach me this new language.
This is a ham. This is a bone-in ham. Frick's bone-in ham. They're very good. We've been selling them for 30-something years.
Yeah.
And we can cut it in half. You can buy the butt end or the shank end, and this has the ham hock. You know,
What I
for
know
dinner.
about Hardesty's is you can get as much meat as you need in any part of the meat that you need.
Anything you need,
Yeah,
we're full service.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And I have tried their hams, and they're the best hams.
I'll slice and tie this one and show you what it looks like when I get back.
Okay, please, because I need
Okay.
a good lesson.
Okay. All right.
And fun facts about Hardesty Market in Delhi is they have a cute market here in town. And so some of my favorite products here are just the cutesy little things you can get in the front is peanut brittle. And I need this for the holidays because this is what I stuff my stockings with for my siblings. Having 5 siblings, you need to get creative. And so I always come here for their fun little cutesy candies they have. And they have handmade cookies and brownies daily.
Whatever your meat order, we prepare your order fresh on the spot. We've been butchering meat since 1932. We make the best cuts, your take-home delight. And we have specialty condiments for all your meats, like this Jumpin' Jack's pepper butter. It's great on hams, nachos, beans.
I heard you could do crackers, cream cheese, and a lot of people use pepper jam in that sense too.
Yeah, and then we have these candy jalapenos, and they are delicious. This is one of the best sellers.
Yes, all made in Oklahoma. So it's very important whenever you're purchasing intentionally this holiday season. So shop with Grady this holiday season.
We'd be glad to have you.
Yes.
What a great group of kids, and that's what we find out, Dax, every time that we have kids on your show.
Yeah, that's honestly, it's the best part of my week, getting to sit down and talk to them and let all the community see what we see every day. And Coach, I know Coach McCune could speak on that as well, but we're very fortunate, especially with our wrestling program.
Well, we've touched on a little bit with the kids what the tornado did for Shawnee Wrestling. I'd like to hear from you, Coach. What did the tornado do for Shawnee Wrestling, Coach McCune?
Well, it's been an adjustment for sure. Emotionally, it hurts. Transition's hard, but here's the deal. Last night I was dueling Piedmont last night with my buddy Eric Ford. Great coach, got a great program building up, and tell him about some of this stuff I've been battling down here. And he pretty much said, Coach, tough times don't last, tough people do. Mm-hmm. And the grind and running on fumes, it's worth it. But it has directly affected us as far as training. Like in my head, I figured we would kind of start back where we left off last year, and that's not the case because it didn't just affect me and the rest of the community. It's affected our kids for sure. Being able to go there in the morning and work out in our room and shower, go to school, or get that extra workout in and technique sessions, and it's been rough. It's been rough.
Well, I want to say Coach McCune is one of those take the bull by the horns man and get it done. And the countless of hours that you and your wrestling families have spent down on Union Street, I, for one, shout out a big thank you because it was a great experience when you opened up down there with Newcastle and how wonderful that facility looks. Thank you, man, very much. And Dax, I know you echo those sentiments.
Oh, yeah. No, and like I said, I mean, it started with Dr. Esbold and his vision, and there's a ton of people involved in this, but on a day-to-day basis, what Coach McCune and his wrestling staff and community have done down there, it's almost overwhelming to see the amount of time and hours they spent. And so I was talking to Kade Carter about it, and I said, it makes you appreciate the Stucker and what they actually had, and now what Union Street has become. So I think they'll get through it. It's been a tough year for all of us. I think all of our kids have been displaced, and it probably has affected our kids more than we know. I think Coach had a great point, but we'll be better in the end. We just got to keep our heads up, stick our chest out, and keep grinding. And I think, we're Shawnee, the blue and white. We're the Shawnee blue and white. And so it's something that's important to us. I know it's important to Coach McCune.
Well, and we're talking about the Stucker and then what Union Street has become. I would say it's what Union Street began to build, and we were able to push it into the Stucker. And I call it a coming home because everybody who's gone into that facility has gone, wow, I remember this. And I want to give you an invite to come out and support Shawnee Wrestling. And if you had anything to do with that middle school or that high school, you're going to have a good time just being in the environment. And Coach McCune, if you would, give your best invite for people to come and enjoy your team down at Union Street.
Man, the community's always supported us, and I'm very thankful for our community because they support us a lot more than what people think. And they're real, we are real with them, they're real with us. And, there's only one Shawnee, and that is Navy Blue and White. And, coming down there and seeing that rich tradition, what these kids have been going through and what they've been working towards, I think it means the world. I always said you have to have 3 recipes to kind of even compete in the top 10, even state. You got to have good coaches. We got a great staff. You got to have parental involvement. You have to have that support network with the wrestlers. And the number 3 and most important is you have to have community involvement. So we have that as well, and I urge anybody, just get involved. Get involved with Shawnee because I'm telling you, is it worth it? The kids are worth it. And if you can't see the transition that's going on with the rebuild and remodel that's happening, just get out and drive around because there's a lot of great things happening right here in Shawnee, and people will want to be a part of it. And that's what makes us Shawnee strong.
Well, Dax,
That's
I
what I said.
don't know how
I'm
you can follow that, but do you have any final thoughts?
Go Wolves is all I got, Coach. That's a mic drop. Great job, Coach.
Agreed. Thank you for being with us here at Hardesty's, where the food is great and the people are even better. And you've been watching the Dax Leone Shawnee High School Coaches Show right here on Shawnee CTV, where Shawnee, all of us, together we build community, one season at a time. Big smile, fellas.